Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to look at the monster that is the Deckard's Dream Mark II, and we're going to go through making two awesome patches for it to show a little bit of the versatility, and also we're going to make the patch that we're going to attempt to kind of create something close to the Blade Runner sound, because honestly, while it can do so much more, it can make awesome sci-fi sort of esque synth sound. So let's get into it. So here I've just gone and zeroed out the patch, and so I can kind of show you how to make sounds with it and just what it's all about. Because when you first get this, or if you open up a CS80 plugin, it can look very daunting and you're sort of moving sliders and whatnot, and it's not always going to work. So let's just create a simple patch, and hopefully I can show you how the sound travels through it and some of the little effects and quirks that it has. So if you look from left to right, you can see we have the pulse width modulation section. We have the oscillators, noise, we have a filter. So yeah, we have low pass and high pass and low pass with resonance. We have the filter envelope, and then we have the VCF level, and then it starts to come along to like the amp envelope, and then these down the end here, this will be for velocity and how much they call it brilliance here, but like the cutoff and other bits and pieces will be affected, and this is for the polyphonic aftertouch. So you can see that this section looks exactly the same as this section. So we only really have to learn one bit, and we've learnt both parts of it. When we come down here, we have like the coarse and fine pitch, detune. We have the LFO section here and where it's applied to. And then we start to look at things like the mix. So if you go all the way to the top, you're only going to hear this oscillator here. All the way down the bottom, obviously the same, you're only going to hear the bottom in the middle. We get a nice combo. Brilliance is the cutoff, so we can pull that down or open it up depending on what we want the sound to be. And then we just have some other little bits and pieces here for aftertouch and whatnot. So as you can hear and see, if I play the keyboard, we got no sound. So let's start creating a patch. So if we go, we're going to turn the square wave on. Got nothing yet. And then if we, and we're going to start just to go a little bit there. Let me take off the reverb for now while we're just creating. And if you can hear, this is how we change the tuning. But if we, and then what we all love is that pulse width modulation. So let's go full 100%, and you can hear it already going there. And then if we adjust the speed, so already you can hear it's getting this huge thick sound. So let's go a bit further and start shaping a little bit more of a sound. So put a little bit of noise in there, and then I want to start affecting this filter with this envelope here. So this slider here is effectively kind of loosely the envelope amount for that filter. So let's go full there, and we'll pull the low pass filter down a little bit. let's nice short attack. One other thing that I love about this is it has this sine wave built in. So if I take the oscillator out, turn the noise down, we got nothing there. So we're going to use that for later, but we're going to use that on the second oscillator. So let's pull that back down again, turn the square wave back on. And for now, I'm going to keep the noise off. I'm going to add the noise onto the second oscillator in a little bit. A little bit of resonance. Pull that pulse width down just a little bit. And then we're going to start to look at some of these here. So initial, obviously that's for velocity. So if we go all the way full, and then we can pull the brilliance down. Really light touch, heavier. So we can kind of pull this back a little bit. So it's just not so crazy, because sometimes when you are playing in a bass line or a synth line, having it set to the maximum can be really... You have to go in and adjust the MIDI, and if you're playing it live, just recording the audio, you might have to go and then put a little filter on and all this sort of stuff, where you want the sound from the synth to shine through. So that's why I always pull that down a little bit. And then we have the after for polyphonic aftertouch. So again, let's go full, and then... And then let's start to adjust bits of it. And I find, I don't know if I mean, it's probably just me, but with the keyboard that I have, and I find that polyphonic aftertouch is 50% about the settings, but then it's also about the player being able to play and utilize that setting. So if I go... It's really sensitive. So let's pull that back. So we kind of got something. You get the picture. I could be here all day with this sort of stuff. So now we'll go the mix all the way to there. If we bring all the mix all the way to oscillator 2 or voice 2, oh sorry, no, oscillator 2, we got nothing. So let's bring up the VCF, and we've got this side. So we're gonna shape that. Nice and beefy, and then we're going to add in the noise. So let's pull this down for now, and then let's go this, and we want this. And then with the, and we can adjust it a little bit. I just want like a little bit of dirt on there. now we can do the mix between the two. So it's still got the noise there, but and then let's put a bit of reverb on there. I find that my black keys are a little less sensitive than the white, but again, I'm not a very good player, so it's just... And let's add some brilliance. Just pull it back a little bit. So there you go. There is super simple patch, just a bass patch showing some of the pulse width and some of the ways that you can create your own sounds with that. So let's now zero it out, and we're going to get into trying to create a Blade Runner-esque patch. Cool, so we're back again. I've zeroed everything out, and let's get cracking. So for the first one, I'm going to have both oscillators on. We're going to have a bit of pulse width going, and it's going to be pretty quick. We've got no noise, and then we're going to filter. Let's get some filtering going, and then we want nice slow attack, decay, and then pretty long release. We're going to get the VCF level up there. We're going to have a bit of the sine underneath. And we're going to go super slow attack. Decay is going to be not far off there. Want the sustain to hold throughout the whole thing. Nice long release. And we'll bring the level up. Pull down the brilliance. And you can hear it's already pretty close. Let's add a little bit of the aftertouch. Now let's go on to oscillator 2. We're gonna again. We don't need. We're gonna have square. So let's go square. Get some pulse width going. So this one's going to be pretty slow. So it's going to be slightly different to the first. No noise, and then let's start over this end, and then we'll come back to the filtering and dial that in. So VCF level there. We want a super long attack again, and let's bring it all the way to mix 2 so we can kind of hear what's going on. Level. All right, pretty long decay. And now let's start looking at filtering. And alarm, let's go there. So this one has a slightly different character to the other one, so kind of cuts it off a little bit more. And if I go over to mix 1, now combo of the 2. And then let's look at some of the aftertouch for this one as well. Let's bring that down a little bit. Actually, let's take that all the way off there. Let's go some of the sustain here. So pull this down a little bit because of my fat fingers trying to play this. I think that's pretty close. I mean, obviously, there are people who are going to get way, way, way closer than me, but I think it's a cool sound overall. Obviously, drenched in reverb. But yeah, hopefully you've got something out of this. If you want to see any more from the Deckards, I had the joy of creating the first bank of 127 sounds for the version 2. So I like to think that I'm pretty familiar with the instrument. But again, hopefully I've inspired you to create something today. And yeah, if you want to know any more, just leave a comment below. And until next time, see you later.